In this video, we will be analyzing different physics concepts based on the clip of a car crash scene from the TV show Grey's Anatomy. The first unit I'll be covering is energy and momentum. Within this, we will look at inelastic collisions, momentum, impulse, and gravitational potential energy. In this clip, an inelastic collision occurs when the Corvette collides and bounces off the Chevy. Now, this occurs because, in this case, the momentum, the inertia and the frontal, it's conserved between the two. However, the kinetic energy is not, and this is because some of the kinetic energy is lost to sound, it's lost to heat, and different aspects of the crash. Now, when we use the equation P1 plus P2 equals P1 prime plus P2 prime, and we substitute in the given masses determined online in the estimated velocities based on the video, as well as assuming that the Corvette will reach a velocity of 0 beforehand, we can solve for the final velocity of the Chevy. Next, we'll take a look at momentum. In this video, the Corvette has momentum throughout most of the video clip. Momentum is equal to the mass of an object multiplied by its velocity. As a result, any moving object with a mass has momentum. It is obvious in this case that this car has momentum since it is moving throughout the video until it comes to a stop. When analyzing the givens, the mass was determined online through a website, the Corvette website, saying that its mass is 1,496 kilograms, and I myself estimated its speed in the video to be approximately 140 kilometers per hour. In this video, the Porsche is gaining an impulse during its deceleration. This occurs because impulse is equal to the change in momentum. Therefore, as your momentum decreases, your impulse will increase. This is obvious that it's occurring because the Porsche is decreasing its momentum, its speed is decreasing as it decelerates, which indicates that its impulse will evidently increase. Once again, the mass in the givens here was determined online through the website of the Porsche, which gave us 2,860 kilograms as the mass, and the velocity, the initial velocity, was determined 10 miles per hour below the Corvette, which equals to approximately 125 kilometers an hour, and its final velocity when it comes to a stop is 0 kilometers per hour. Gravitational potential energy is gained as an object moves further above the surface of the Earth and is lost as it moves closer. This is because the further an object gets from the surface, the more potential it has to fall, as it's becoming less stable. Both cars, the Corvette and the Chevy, experience a conversion of their energy into gravitational potential energy when they're flipping through the air. This is because they're above the surface of the Earth. This makes it evident that they're both experiencing this form of energy at this moment. For the height of the Corvette, I estimated it to be approximately 1.5 meters above the ground, and the height of the Chevy to be about 2.0 meters above the ground, as it was slightly higher than the other one. Now, for the mass of the Chevy, once again online, gave us 3,221 kilograms. The next unit that we'll be looking at for this CCT is dynamics, specifically forces. Now, these forces we'll be looking at are the force of friction, the force applied, and from that, the acceleration and displacement of the cars. Friction, kinetic friction, is occurring on Porsche while it is decelerating. This is occurring because as the car is pushing into the surface of the Earth in one direction, the surface of the road is pushing back onto the car in the opposite direction. And since it's moving, it is kinetic friction. We know this is occurring because of Newton's third law. And this tells us that every applied force has an equal and opposite reaction force onto it. The given of the coefficient of kinetic friction was found online as 1, and this is the relationship of friction between the dry tires and the dry road. The acceleration of the Porsche, or rather in this case the deceleration, is occurring as it is coming to a stop, as it slams on its brakes. This is occurring because it is changing its velocity in a period of time. We know this is occurring because it is starting at one speed and it is slowing down to become another speed. The value of the change in time in this equation was determined based on watching the video and number of seconds that the Porsche was decelerating for. Displacement of the Porsche is occurring at the same time as the deceleration. This is occurring because displacement is equal to a certain distance covered in a certain direction. Now, we know this is occurring since we can see that the Porsche is clearly moving in a certain direction and traveling a certain amount of distance. In this case, the acceleration was taken from the deceleration in the previous talk. A force is applied by the Porsche onto the road during the deceleration. This occurs because every force, so the force from the road onto the car, has an equal and opposite reaction force, therefore the force of the car onto the road. We know this occurs because it is moving along the road, and therefore there's a force of friction from the road. This force of friction from the road causes a force applied from the car. In conclusion, there are many different ways we can analyze scenarios using physics. While this may be from a TV show, this scenario could very well happen in everyday life.